Hi, passionate Rangers FC fans. Welcome to Rangers Update, your dedicated source for all things Rangers. Before we dive in, we want to express our gratitude for your unwavering support. If you bleed blue, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and let's strengthen our community. Now, let's get into the latest updates. A hearty welcome to our new followers. Your backing means the world to us. Let's get to the news. The football world has been rocked recently by a statement that no one saw coming, a claim that has sent shockwaves through the corridors of the Rangers stadium and ignited countless debates across social media platforms. Jack Butland, the English goalkeeper, who has spent years building a reputation as one of the most reliable shot stoppers of his generation, reportedly exclaimed in an interview that a certain player will never play for Rangers again, a declaration that has sparked speculation about the internal dynamics of the team. For fans and pundits alike, the remark raises more questions than answers, leaving everyone to wonder what could have happened behind closed doors to provoke such a bold assertion. Was it a clash of personalities, a disagreement over training methods, or perhaps a dispute that escalated beyond reconciliation? The uncertainty has created a whirlwind of conjecture, with insiders hinting at tension in the locker room and some former players even suggesting that the current atmosphere at the club might be more fragile than it appears to the public eye. The timing of BUTLAND's statement, coming after a series of performances that have failed to meet expectations, only adds fuel to the speculation, leaving supporters anxiously anticipating further developments while debating the potential consequences for the team's stability and cohesion. Rumors are swirling that the alleged player at the center of Butland's comment could be involved in multiple controversies that have remained largely under wraps yet have simmered in the background for months. There is talk of disagreements over the team's tactical approach, with certain squad members reportedly expressing frustration over the manager's instructions, resulting in a divided dressing room. Butland's reputation as a candid and outspoken figure only intensifies the intrigue as fans try to decipher whether his words are an isolated opinion or indicative of deeper structural issues within Rangers. Speculation also centers on the potential impact this feud could have on future transfers, with whispers suggesting that some players might be considering their options, wary of entering an environment perceived as unstable. Analysts have begun piecing together fragments of information from interviews, social media activity, and insider reports, trying to understand the implications of Butland's declaration. Each revelation seems to contradict the next, creating a web of uncertainty that keeps supporters on edge, questioning whether the club can maintain its competitive edge while internal disputes simmer just beneath the surface, threatening to erupt at any moment and disrupt the carefully managed image of professionalism that Rangers have cultivated over the years. Insiders close to the club have hinted at episodes of heated arguments during training sessions, suggesting that Butland's frustration might stem from repeated incidents that reflect a breakdown in communication between key figures. The goalkeeper, who has always been vocal about standards and commitment, appears to have reached a breaking point, according to sources familiar with the team's inner workings. While the exact circumstances remain unclear, rumors abound that these conflicts could involve tactical disagreements, a lack of accountability, or even clashes over leadership within the squad. Fans have latched onto every minor incident in recent weeks, reading between the lines of matchday reports and press conferences, convinced that there is a deeper story waiting to be told. Social media platforms have become a battleground for speculation, with supporters dissecting every gesture, interview snippet, and post, creating theories that range from plausible to downright sensational. The situation has even attracted attention from former players and pundits who weigh in on the drama with varying degrees of authority, often escalating the perception of crisis. For the casual observer, it may seem like typical locker room friction, yet the intensity of reaction suggests that Butland's words have struck a nerve, hinting at fractures that could define the club's immediate future. There is also talk of off-pitch tensions contributing to this perceived crisis, with insiders mentioning that personal relationships among squad members might be affecting team morale. BUTLAND, known for his disciplined approach and high standards, could be reacting to patterns of behavior that he perceives as detrimental to the club's culture, creating a situation where confrontation becomes inevitable. The mere idea that a player might be ostracized or permanently sidelined has sent shockwaves through fan forums, with supporters debating the ethics of such a decision and its long-term impact on team spirit. Some believe that Butland's statement is an attempt to send a message not just to the individual in question, but to the entire squad, emphasizing the importance of unity and commitment. Meanwhile, rival clubs are reportedly monitoring the situation closely, potentially seeing an opportunity to exploit perceived weaknesses in Rangers' internal dynamics. The speculation surrounding this crisis has transformed routine discussions about lineups and transfers into debates about leadership, loyalty, and the subtle politics that govern elite football teams. Every rumor fuels the next, creating a feedback loop where facts and conjecture intertwine, leaving fans and commentators alike unsure of where reality ends and speculation begins, yet captivated by the unfolding narrative. Adding another layer of intrigue, some sources suggest that Butland's remark may have been influenced by frustrations with managerial decisions or broader club policies, hinting at structural issues beyond mere player disagreements. If true, this raises questions about the long-term vision of the club and whether existing strategies are sufficient to maintain harmony among a squad with diverse personalities and ambitions. Observers have noted that periods of internal strife often coincide with dips in form, and the mere suggestion that a key player could be permanently sidelined adds dramatic tension to ongoing discussions about performance and ambition. Supporters have flooded online forums with their theories, speculating about which player Butland might have been referencing, while also debating whether his comments reflect personal grievances or wider systemic problems within Rangers. The media has capitalized on the ambiguity, highlighting the drama in ways that magnify the perception of crisis, while former teammates and pundits weigh in with anecdotal accounts that may or may not hold water. What emerges from all of this is a landscape in which uncertainty dominates, where even the most mundane aspects of club life are scrutinized and interpreted as potential signs of conflict, making it almost impossible to separate fact from speculation, while the story continues to develop in real time, leaving fans glued to every update in anticipation of clarity. Finally, the ripple effects of Butland's statement extend beyond the club itself, potentially impacting player market values, transfer negotiations, and even the perception of Rangers among neutral observers and football analysts. The notion that a player could be completely frozen out of the squad sends a signal about discipline and accountability, but also invites questions about management flexibility and the handling of personal differences. Rumors now suggest that talks behind the scenes are ongoing, with senior figures trying to mediate the situation before it escalates further, yet the atmosphere remains tense, leaving little certainty about the outcome. Every interview snippet, press statement, or social media post is scrutinized for hidden meanings, with supporters and journalists alike seeking clues that might confirm or dispel speculation. In many ways, Butland's bold proclamation has shifted attention from the pitch to the politics of team dynamics, highlighting the delicate balance required to manage elite athletes in high-pressure environments. For those observing from afar, the situation reads like a drama as much as a sports story, a tangled web of personalities, power, and perception, where the truth may be far more nuanced than the headlines suggest. The coming weeks promise to be critical in understanding whether this crisis is a temporary flare-up or a more systemic challenge that could shape the trajectory of Rangers in seasons to come. Rumours continue to intensify as insiders hint that the unrest surrounding Rangers might be far from resolved, with Jack Butland's dramatic statement acting as a catalyst for deeper speculation about the club's internal climate. Sources familiar with the situation suggest that the player allegedly at the center of the controversy could be facing a prolonged period of exclusion, potentially altering the balance of the squad both on and off the pitch. Some whispers even propose that this could trigger a chain reaction, with other players reconsidering their commitment to the team, wary of the environment described as increasingly tense and polarized. Fans have become obsessive in their analysis, poring over every training report, interview snippet, and social media interaction, attempting to decipher hidden meanings or signs of reconciliation. The speculation is compounded by the fact that Butland himself is known for a no-nonsense approach to discipline, and his words carry weight both within the squad and among supporters, and analysts have begun suggesting that such a public declaration could have been a strategic move intended to provoke reflection or enforce standards, yet the ambiguity ensures that debate rages on, with each theory building upon another, leaving observers questioning whether the reported crisis is genuine, exaggerated, or perhaps a complex mixture of both personal conflict and professional challenge, creating a dramatic narrative that captivates the footballing world and fuels endless discussion about loyalty, leadership, and team culture. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Further complicating the situation, speculation has emerged that managerial influence, or lack thereof, may be contributing to the perceived tension in the squad, raising questions about whether leadership at Rangers has been able to manage the competing personalities effectively. Insiders suggest that the coaching staff might be navigating a delicate balancing act, trying to maintain authority while preventing disillusionment among key players. Yet the recent events imply that cracks could be forming in what had previously been regarded as a disciplined environment. Some pundits theorize that Butland's public comment was in fact a reflection of private frustrations with decisions made behind the scenes, a signal to both teammates and the broader football community about standards he believes are not being upheld. Meanwhile, the media frenzy continues, each outlet attempting to pass the statement for new angles, each social media post sparking waves of commentary, speculation, and debate. There are even whispers that rival clubs are taking note, quietly considering the potential opportunities arising from a squad perceived as divided, while supporters oscillate between fear for the team's stability, and fascination with the drama. Amid this swirling speculation, questions about squad morale, trust between players and management, and the ability to navigate internal conflict without undermining performance dominate every discussion, creating an atmosphere where anticipation and uncertainty overshadow the ordinary rhythm of football life, leaving Rangers caught in a whirlwind of narrative that feels almost theatrical in its intensity and reach. Insider reports have hinted that the alleged player in question may have already faced consequences behind closed doors, though details remain elusive, leaving room for rampant conjecture. And some sources suggest that a series of minor incidents, each seemingly insignificant on its own, could have accumulated into a tipping point, prompting BUTLAND to voice his striking opinion publicly. The speculation paints a picture of a squad caught between professional obligations and interpersonal friction, where loyalty, ambition, and ego intersect in ways that challenge conventional notions of teamwork. Fans have eagerly pieced together fragments of evidence, interpreting subtle gestures during matches, body language in training, and off-field interactions as potential confirmation of underlying tensions. Former players and commentators have been quick to offer their takes, ranging from assessments of the alleged player's temperament to broader reflections on how high-level football clubs manage dissent and discipline. The conversation has expanded beyond Rangers itself, inviting comparisons with other clubs that have faced internal turmoil, each analysis layering on to the next, reinforcing the perception of crisis while simultaneously deepening the intrigue. This cycle of speculation, commentary, and rumor has created a narrative that transcends sport, drawing in audiences who are as fascinated by human drama as they are by tactics and results, leaving the story of Rangers' locker room friction in a state of suspense that seems destined to dominate discussion for weeks to come, if not longer, as every detail is scrutinized under the microscope of public attention. Meanwhile, the psychological impact on the squad cannot be ignored. Speculation continues that internal divisions may affect performance, cohesion, and long-term planning. Observers suggest that the uncertainty surrounding BUTLAND's remark and the alleged sidelined player could lead to a climate of caution where decisions on and off the field are influenced more by fear of conflict than by tactical or strategic considerations. Rumors abound that some players may be adjusting their conduct, training intensity, or interactions with teammates in an effort to avoid becoming embroiled in controversy, creating subtle shifts in group dynamics that can be hard to detect externally but critical internally. Pundits and insiders speculate that this tension could impact transfer decisions, contract negotiations, and even youth development as young players watch senior squad members navigate a potentially fractured environment. Media outlets have amplified the intrigue, framing the story in ways that emphasize drama over fact, encouraging fans to connect dots that may or may not exist. Discussions on fan forums reflect this, oscillating between outrage, concern, and fascination, with supporters theorizing endlessly about how Rangers might resolve the situation. The sense of a looming decision or turning point is palpable, leaving both the squad and its followers in a state of heightened anticipation where every public gesture and private hint is dissected for meaning, and where the saga feels as much about psychology, leadership, and reputation as it does about football itself. Greetings! Fans, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC, and don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.